Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
Do you ever feel like life is a never-ending series of lessons while you try to find purpose, meaning, and answers? I am Vanessa Fontana, the host of Figuring Shit Out, a podcast where we undertake self-help, coming of age, and healing. As I live my 20s in New York City figuring shit out myself, I've realized that if you spend your whole life trying to get your act together, you don't have a life. You have an act. On Figuring Shit Out, every Sunday, you get to normalize the journey of not knowing and be guided into living your life with more intention and ease.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Welcome to the Michael Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. And my goal is to give you actionable and practical skills to help you understand your past, get out of the vortex, and become the hero of your own story. This podcast is sponsored by thinkunbroken.com, where you can find resources for adult survivors of child abuse. Now, let's get into the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Michael Unbroken podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Michael Anthony. And today I want to talk to you about something that I think is kind of been pressing on me for a while now. This is a question that comes up now and again that I think is a really important question that I need to answer about what Think Unbroken means. And in order to do that, I have to take it back a little bit with you guys and go into talking about the power of words. Have you ever asked yourself, why certain words especially impact you in certain ways? Have you ever wondered why sometimes you can get triggered by the things that somebody says? Or have you ever wondered how a single word can impact your day so negatively that it changes everything? Maybe a relationship, maybe a friendship, maybe a business adventure. The words that we use in our vocabulary are not only paramount for the way that we think about ourselves in the world, but it's also paramount for the way that other people think and relate to us. I was thinking about one word in particular, and that's the word broken. When I go and I look at the course of my life, my childhood, that thought of being broken was constantly on repeat. My teachers said you were broken. My relationships, I had different girlfriends at points in time tell me I was broken. My brothers even, like, you're broken, you're fucked up, man. Like, what is your problem? Why can't you get your shit together? Which, in all honesty, are fair questions, right? But to be broken, to be labeled as that, as I think is super unfair and very unjust. I don't think that anyone is broken. I don't think that there's any single person, living or dead, in the history of the world who has ever been broken. I think that we all come from different places and we have different planes of existence. And because of that, the way that we think about ourselves and the way that others think about us are all based around actions, right? So perhaps if you're someone who acts out or seeks attention or is someone who can't concentrate in class, or you can't concentrate at work, or you're obviously or are constantly obsessed with whatever that thing is that it might be, it doesn't make you broken. It just means that you have to have a better understanding of why you behave and act the way that you do. And people used to tell me I was broken all the time, and it made me so upset because I might have been a lot of things, right? I might have been an asshole and a loser. I might have been overweight and a jerk. I might have been lazy and unmotivated, but I was never broken. In fact, I would argue that from time to time, I probably just needed a hug, and you probably do too. And if I were there with you right now, wherever you are listening to this, I would give you a hug, but I'm not. So do me a favor and just take a second, give yourself a hug. I'm gonna do it right now. If you're watching this on video, I just gave myself a hug because I think that we have to be gentle with ourselves. We have to be kind with ourselves, especially as we are in this process of healing. And so that word broken has just kind of sat on my shoulder like this little evil monster for years. And I always come back to it. Somehow, some way, it's always been there. And it got me thinking about what the power of words mean. And it wasn't that long ago that I was dating someone, and after an argument, which in the way I argue now, like now that I've done so much work on myself, my arguments are very different. There's no yelling, there's no screaming, there's no breaking down, there's no passive aggressiveness, there's no not being wrong. And I'm wrong all the fucking time. And like I realized that. But this argument, and I didn't know this person that well, and so maybe they just didn't realize that word impacted me so much. They said, you know what, you're broken. Like, you are this way because of this reason. And it was an argument over something so stupid that I literally don't even remember. And because of that, one night, laying in bed, I'm just thinking to myself, however amount of time had passed, man, this keeps happening to me. This word keeps resurfacing itself. This thought that I am not right in comparison to someone else's worldview or expectations of how I should be seems to leave me with the designation of being broken. And I vehemently disagree with that. Like, that is not a stamp of approval that I give myself. And so as I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking about this on this particular night, the idea came to me. I was like, oh, actually, no, I'm not broken. I am unbroken. And slowly but surely, what I'd been working on in time, just sharing little bits and pieces of information that I've discovered about childhood trauma and the effect and impact and ramifications of it on adult life, I realized actually what I do is I think unbroken. And that's something that I want to share with the world. I want to give people these tools, these concepts, these ideas that I've uncovered and some of which I've created so that they can do the same. Because I think the worst thing that we can do is be in a society where we label each other broken. Even more so, I think the worst thing that could happen is that you take that designation and you relegate yourself to it and you say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I am broken. I'm fucked up. It's no wonder nobody loves me. It's no wonder nobody cares about me. It's no wonder that I'm lonely and my job sucks and I hate my life and I hate my relationship and I can't look at myself in the mirror. They're right. I'm broken. That is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. It's the worst thing that could happen to any of us. And I'm going to tell you right now, the same thing I always say when I end my podcast is, until next time, my friend, be unbroken, because I want you to be able to tap into that part of yourself to realize, rationalize, accept, and acknowledge that you are not broken. That word is a word I want us all to remove out of our dictionary. There are so many words in the scope of mental health care and in society today that have totally been ostracized from our vocabulary. Broken is one of those words that I want to remove from our vocabulary because I think it's bullshit. I think it's asinine and super unfair that people could be labeled something like that, because it's as potent of a word as any of the negative words that you could possibly think of that impact people. So all that said, what I want to do is share a gift with you. I created a small workbook leading up to my workshop that I'm hosting on September 10th that I hope you guys all attend. But in the meantime, this workbook that I've created is a very simple thought, call it process, curriculum. I don't know the word I want to use now. The mid-rant, it's gone forever. So what is it? What are you going to do? But this workbook is about identifying and understanding the power that words hold in your life. It is a workbook that is full of very positive, affirming, and what I think are words that you should live your life by when you understand like how they impact and play a role in your life. So the words that you're going to find in this book are going to range anywhere from gratitude to happiness to successful to handsome and beautiful to whatever else in this long list of words that you're going to use to identify and create context around in the role that they play in your current life and in your future life. And there's space for you to create words and add or do whatever you want, but it's my gift to you because I think that it's a really helpful, practical exercise. It's one that I pulled from the Think Unbroken workshop. So if you don't know, I host this giant online workshop that is about to launch called the Think Unbroken Academy. It's a 20-week coaching and mentorship workshop for adult survivors of child abuse. And this particular exercise, when I've hosted this workshop in live, real life scenarios, has been one that people love and resonate with in a really impactful and profounding way because it helps us get a better understanding of the power of words. And I think acknowledgement in whole is part of this journey, but acknowledging the power that words hold and play in our life is such an important part. That's why most of the practice that I do in the mindset habits and the curriculum is based on actually writing, because words are such a huge proponent and player in the healing journey. So I hope that you'll check that out. To do that, what you do is go to thinkunbroken.com/words. And that is where you will find this. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. I want you to think about the words that are negative or harmful in your life, the words that you're using right now that don't bring you real value, the words that take away from your power, the words that take away from your strength, and the words that keep you trapped in the vortex. And I want you to start replacing those words with the words that you're going to find in this workbook and bring yourself a little bit more power, validation, love, and care. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. As usual, you can check me out on social media at Michael Unbroken. The website for the workbook is thinkunbroken.com/workbook. Thinkunbroken.com/words. Thinkunbroken.com/words. And until next time, my friends, be unbroken. See ya.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.